Okay. I'm excited to introduce today's spotlight speaker, Blair Kaplan Venables. Blair is an expert in social media marketing and the president of Blair Kaplan Communications, a British Columbia-based PR agency. As a pioneer in the industry, she brings more than a decade of experience to her clients, which include global wellness, entertainment, and lifestyle brands. Blair has helped her customers grow their followers into the tens of thousands in just 1 month, win integrative marketing awards, and more. She has spoken on national stages, and her expertise has been featured in media outlets, including CBC Radio, CEO World Magazine, She Owns It, and Thrive Global. Blair is also the #1 best-selling author of Pulsing Through My Veins, Raw and Real Stories from an Entrepreneur, and co-host to the Dissecting Success podcast. When she's not working on the board for her local Chamber of Commerce, you can find Blair growing the I Am Resilient project, an online community where users share their stories of overcoming life's most difficult moments. Please take it away, Blair.
Hello. So I see that most of you have dropped your Instagram usernames. So if you, I'm assuming, because for those of you who are in our chapter, I've let you know that we're doing this lesson, that you have Instagram on your phone. So while I'm talking, I want you to do what inspires you, but we're going to have an interactive lesson here. So maybe if you don't know how to do this, we can talk about it after, but all of our usernames are now listed in the chat. So please go in and follow one another if you haven't, especially our guests. I don't think Trish really uses Instagram, but I know Rob does, because that's how Rob and I communicate. Thanks for coming, Rob. So why do I love Instagram? So couple things. One, Instagram is great because it's very creative. I'm an extremely creative person. And one of the benefits is that you have two different kind of major features. One of it is your Instagram feed. And those are the grid of threes that people see when they land on your profile. To me, that is like a brochure. That is like your life. It can be extremely curated. It can be similar aesthetics, colors, vibes, photos. I post whatever the heck I want because that's how I roll. I can't follow rules even when I give them to myself. But what my favorite part about Instagram is the stories. Who here loves stories? Raise your hand. Okay, so what stories to me are like reality shows. It's like my reality show. It's like the Blair show. It can be videos. It can be pictures. Stories only last for 24 hours. So it's brilliant. So you can have a very curated feed, which is like your brochure. It's what you're showing off to the world. But your stories is the behind the scenes. It's the real stuff. Because people do business with people they like, they know, and they trust. So stories have about 500 million users per day, and it's growing. The feature obviously is inspired from Snapchat, the similar, aspect of it disappearing. And there's some other cool features you can, do with your stories. If you really like your story, you can save it to a highlight to live on your feed until you delete it. But for today's purpose, I want to show you how to just do a little story while you're networking to help you gain more exposure, connect with the people who are at an event, and potentially do business with people. So what we're going to start off by doing is everyone's going to open the camera on their phone. And they're going to go to video mode. And I want to see everyone's camera up. And we're going to make a video of the screen. We're recording ourselves, guys. I'm looking. We're all ready. So what we're going to do is you want to make sure the whole screen, all the grids are in the footage or in the screen. And we're all going to wave and we're going to hit record for at least 3 seconds. It's going to count at the top of your screen. So I'm going to say 3, and on 3, we're going to hit record and we're all just going to wave. And then we're going to stop it after 3 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And we stop. Was that 3 seconds? Let's do it one more time, just in case. I always like to do things a few times because sometimes one version is better than the other. Ready? 1, 2, 3. and stop. Now what we're going to do is, we're waving because we're doing a lesson, but usually what I do is I take a sneaky photo. I'm usually taking a photo, try to make sure I look good because it's, obviously I'm posting it to my network and I don't want to look like, like mid-word. So I try to make sure I look good, but some events have opportunities where we smile like we will do shortly in my usual like photographer stint. But what I like to do is I usually take a photo. Sometimes I do a video if it's a cool presentation or for dancing, but I like to do it in my camera, not inside Instagram. So now I'm going to show you what I would do. If we were at a networking event and I wasn't doing a lesson, this is what my next steps would be. Everyone open the Instagram app and hit the little house icon right there. That takes you to your home feed. Are we all there? Thumbs up. So while you're there, now you're on your home feed, you're going to take your finger and you're going to swipe it across your screen from left to right till you get to this. Ooh, look at that, Inception. Whatever that says, Janice, you want to enable it. So yes. So this is where you're going to create a story. Janice, you got it figured out? Okay. So you have the option of taking photos and videos within Instagram, within stories. Do I do that? Yes. Do I do it all the time? No. It's about what feels right for the mood. But for the purpose of this, because we don't always have our Instagram app open, we don't always have a connection. But if we're out in the woods, I guess this makes sense for me. But if I'm out in the woods and I have no cell service, I can still use my camera, but I can't use my Instagram. So I like to actually get content from my phone camera, and then add it in my Instagram story. So what you're going to do is there's going to be a little square in the bottom left corner. We're all going to tap that. And we're going to select the video we made. If anyone has an issue, let me know. So what we're going to do is we're going to see, this is what I touched. This is everything that I've had recently on my, my most recent photos and videos. What I'm doing is I'm tapping the video that I made of us waving. And here what you can do is you can adjust it. So did you know that you can make it smaller or bigger by pinching it? Okay, so now I'm going to make it bigger because I want to see everyone waving. So we're going to make it a little bigger, and I'm going to show you right now how to do a couple things on your story. We only have about 5 minutes left, so we're not going to be able to get into too much. But the first thing that's really important to know how to do on a story, especially when you're with other people, is how to tag other people. Because this is my lesson, I'm going to tell you how to tag me. But this is something that you can use for anything else. So what you can do is there's 2 different ways to tag people. But what I like to do is I hit the letters. So where it says AA, touch AA. And now we're going to type in something together. You're going to type in the @ symbol. And then you're going to type in Blair from Blairland. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that. So you can move it around once you type it. I'm showing you, but see, you can put your finger on it and move it around. You can put my name wherever you want. If you are proficient with Instagram and this isn't your first time making a story, you might want to say something like learning from Blair from Blairland, or lessons on Instagram, or you can just put my name. Whatever you want. Then the other thing that's really important that I like to show people is, for example, I'm talking during it. Sometimes I'm making a video and in the background might be Shane watching hockey, but I don't want people hearing that. You have the option of muting. So that little sound function right there, you can hit that. I like to hit that because it mutes whatever weird noises I'm making in the background. Right? So that's cool. And then this is the fun part. I love GIFs. I love adding animated stickers. Who else loves that? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit the little square with the smiley face. And in the search right here, where it says search, you're going to do write the word thumbs up. And you're going to pick one of the GIFs that you like. I picked the thumbs up cat because I like cats.
You have 1 minute and a half.
All right. So this will be the last part of our lesson for today. And then in 5 months from now, we'll continue. Or we work together. So once we do that, once we have our GIF, what we're going to do is we're going to publish it to our story. What's going to happen is when you publish it, I'm going to get notified that you mentioned me, and I'm going to have the opportunity to share your story with my followers, my 23,000 followers, which I will do. So when you're ready, you're going to hit the send to option. And you're going to hit your story at the very top. You're going to hit the word share. Do you see that, Kim? And so I see some of you have already figured it out. Rob, you got it. So what you're going to do is you're going to send to down here your story. And you've now published a post to your story. Congratulations. So I'm a social media marketing expert. I do lessons usually longer than 10 minutes. You guys have been great students, but it's probably because you're all on mute. And the perfect referral for me is anyone who wants to learn social media. I do private coaching, group coaching. I lead various workshops and I have various products. And I think I probably have only a couple seconds left. So do I have time for a question? Anyone have a question? No? All right. Okay. You can ask a question.
Actually, when you take the video, is there a way that you can crop the video? Because I didn't put mine up, as I noticed that I had some information on my screen and I'd forgotten to move it.
So the short answer is that I wouldn't say there is a way to crop it, but when I want to hide stuff on my story, I go to the pen function, which we didn't talk about, but the little doodle beside the letters. Mm-hmm. I click on that. I make the brush as big as possible. I go to the paintbrush and then I might go pick a color and draw, scribble it out.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you find one? So I say I want to find your stories that you've posted. I mean, I follow you.
Yeah. So what you're going to do to see my stories is you're going to go to my profile. And my profile photo will have a pink circle around it or a pinky orangey ombre circle. You can tap that and you can see all the posts I've made to my story. So what you can do is you can tap forward and back. And then eventually after today's workshop, I'll share everyone's posts if you tag me. My reality show back in the mountains. Yeah. So much more to post than my mother's basement.
Okay, so I didn't do it because of that confidential information I had on my ear. I didn't want everybody else to see it. Okay.
So I just want to know, did you find that lesson helpful? I know 10 minutes isn't a lot of time.
Yes.
Excellent.
I think that was my first story.